There comes a time when, like, I experience a game long before actually knowing the history behind it, and suddenly it's one of those moments where, like, the dots just connect, and I realize that's why.
It all makes sense now. Oh, hello.
Oh, boy, and the
It all
crush
kind
one
of
there.
all kind of sparks together. Blah blah blah. Funny joke. Anyway, welcome to Zapper.
Hello,
This
Zapper.
is a PS2 game that I had owned again as a kid, not knowing anything about what was actually happening in it. For the longest time, I thought it was a ripoff. Turns out it was the best kind. One that the original developers actually wanted to make until before the publisher decided they wanted to make a Zelda.
Yeah, so basically, just to bring people up to speed, the studio that made the Blitz games, they're the same people that made Frogger 2 Swampy's Revenge. And they had plans on making a follow-up to that. However, that was right around the time where Konami wanted to do something kind of different with Frogger. And so Blitz decided to just take what they had. Oh boy! They decided to take what they had and just turn it into this new game.
Yeah.
And thus they have a
which we are-
zap-off.
Yep, in which apparently a grand bird mastermind criminal is on the loose. Basically, a weirder rouge. And oh gosh, their electric fight shorted out the TV.
Oh no, it's...
Now look what you made me do.
You know, it's kind of
Anna?
Oh boy. He is the Zappy Zap.
Come on, it's just,
There has to
we
be a
just need
better
better
way than
reception.
this.
We just need reception.
You know, it's funny, like, even the cutscenes feel very much like Swampy's Revenge. Just looking better.
I mean,
Oh, boy.
yeah. Oh.
What's wrong with my antenna?
Oh, God.
My brother, friend? I don't know who it's supposed to be.
I think it's supposed to be a brother. Oh boy.
And thus we
So, yep.
see what it really is. An abomination.
So I think he's supposed to be just a normal cricket with electrical antenna. So
it's
yeah.
game time.
And immediately, as you can see in the gameplay, right away it wears its inspirations on its sleeves. It's basically a Swampy's, and it's as
Oh, come on, get off.
I lost
There
my
you
brother. I'm having a rough day. So, as opposed to your tongue, you have electrical attack, which, as you're going to soon see, is a bit more lethal.
go. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you actually can, you can actually make mincemeat out of your foes this time.
Oh yes, but already right away, those who've played Swampy's Revenge, you can already see that as opposed to collecting the little frog babies, we're trying to collect more eggs as we're hunting down like the breadcrumbs that'll lead us.
Do, 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 do.
You're having a little too much fun with this, I noticed.
Please stop.
I want to ask, like, aside from the new electrical attack, how would you say, like, the controls fare compared to Swampy's Revenge?
They're all pretty much. James, in Swampy's Revenge, could you do like a super hop?
I believe so.
Then yeah, because the controls are pretty much on par with like Frogger and Swampy's Revenge and most of the Game Boy Advance games. But you just saw there was a little bonus game I can come across sometimes where if I collect all the fireflies in a particular order, I'll get this special firefly that'll follow me around until I find an activation panel that will allow it to be, turn on random platforms. So yeah, again, I had experienced this game, and I did, at one point, beat the whole thing. It was a pretty fun little game, and had no idea that that they pretty much stuck to what they knew and made a pretty solid platformer.
I mean, if you already have the base work right then and there, may as well make something original with it. I mean, kind of a similar case to when what was his name? Stealth originally had that whole Darkwing Duck prototype, but when that fell through, he tried to make it into an original project called Vertebreaker, which could have been a thing if real world events didn't literally screw his chances of making it.
I know.
Which sucks too, because I was really looking forward to that project.
Same.
I'm really hoping that something else can happen to maybe bring it back. So here we go. I use the Firefly, activate the console, and it allows me to reach a bonus area. These metal boxes can only be broken with a Super Zap, which you can collect from a group of Fireflies, like right here. The group of Fireflies usually requires a certain number of... I forget what they're called, but I'm just going to call them as I see them. These things remind me of tings, the blue tings I'm collecting.
They do look like tings.
Make a nice ting
There-
sound.
Ding noise. There are okay, Super Jump can also go up onto 3D platforms, so be mindful of elevation. What was it? There are 100 tings in each level. Collect 100 tings in a level. Get that for the road. And you can, once you get 100 tings, you can enter a bonus zone where, in the bonus zone, which I'll be showing off later, in the bonus zone, you can compete to earn these little shields, which for me puts on a dumb little helmet. You can unlock different cosmetic options.
Cute.
Well, I'm gonna get a different thing other than this helmet. I'm no
I look like a
biker.
space cadet with this thing.
It does look like a space cadet. All right, one more. So, having pretty much, other than that, I don't think I need to explain too much of the controls because
Frogger.
Yeah.
pretty much. If you played Frog, you already know how this works. This is the bonus game we're going to here. All we have to do is just get from point A to point B without falling. There are only 4 worlds, and I think there's like 3 or 4 levels in each one, so not a very terribly long game.
Yeah,
Then
that's
again,
exactly-
neither was Swampy's Revenge, was it?
Oh my.
Oh god, this is
Yeah.
trippy.
You may want to avert your eyes for photosensitivity
Yeah,
with
this-
all the colors.
Yeah, this is basically like, this is taking what Rayman 3 did and just amplify it.
Pretty much. Yeah, I just need to get to the end real quick before this train catches up with me, but that's pretty much it. I pretty much explained the whole story is us just trying to save our brother, I think. And, yeah. What do you guys think?
I mean, like I said before, it's like if you got the groundwork for it, make the most of it to make it its own original project. And for what it's worth, it seems like it did its job fairly well. Like the whole zapping mechanic is definitely not something I would have expected out of a Frogger clone. And for what it's worth, it does give you at least some sort of leeway with the enemy variety.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I swear I didn't realize that font for the loading there was been run for that long.
Oh, yeah, no.
That's
Freaking
only what I
old.
used to
should
find
probably-
videos.
Half acre wood, huh?
Oh my gosh, yeah, that is the font that you... Oh.
Yeah.
And yeah, Half Acre Wood.
It's good to see that even the developers here have watched a little bit of the Brady Bunch.
Aha. So, hi, what do you think?
It definitely does look like it definitely, what am I gonna say? I'm definitely liking it, like, as someone that definitely played a lot of Swampy's Revenge growing up. Like, I do appreciate, like, it looks like the control's just about the same. I appreciate the add-ons it did to try and make it feel like its own thing, you know, in spite of it essentially just being Frogger 3. Is it only available for the PlayStation 2, or is it on other consoles?
It's on GameCube and Xbox, I think.
Yeah, and apparently they had a Game Boy Advance game of it as well. But yeah, it's available on Xbox. Go ahead.
Game Boy Advance, GameCube, PC, PS2, and Xbox.
Don't get the Game Boy Advance version, though, because it's a lot slower and a lot easier.
I bet. It says here they can also be played on Microsoft Windows, which makes me think they probably had a PC port of it as well, like
That's
Yeah.
why I
like a
said
CD-ROM.
I just
So
said
it's a
that.
PC.
Sorry. Well, I was assuming like because I don't.
that's gruesome. I just realized how gruesome that is.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
some
no.
of the character
No,
deaths can be really, yeah.
Oh no, those guys with the swords earlier, like they can chop poor Zapper in half.
You know, it was probably a blessing in disguise. Like that one time we recorded Temple of the Frog that I never suffered a death from those spikes because Frogger suffers the same.
What's this game rated?
E for everyone, I think.
Yeah.
That's what I figured, but I'm getting Conquer vibes from the way enemies die.
I mean, it's the slightly over the top cartoon violence factor, I guess. Okay, gotta be careful.
I mean, it also helps too
Sinks in.
that they're bugs.
That reminds me, were we doing that? Were we still doing that?
Yeah.
In due time, it's just a matter of when I feel like it. And I mean, it would be cool if I actually had an Xbox One to play it natively, but until I do so, I'm gonna have to settle with Project 64 or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, now it's him.
I do want to ask, since we brought that up, excuse me, kind of like how Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie kind of have like their own like alterations for the Xbox ports. You know, kind of like how with Banjo they actually save all the musical notes you get. Does Conquer on Xbox have any of its own like little changes compared to the N64?
Aside from like some really subtle differences here and there, not really. No, it's mostly a straight port. But that's also because Conker's Bad Fur Day, unlike the two Banjo games, was primarily made with the rare replay in mind.
Yeah, I could see, got it. I could see, on Xbox, I could see it having slightly faster loading times. I know the Xbox had slightly better hardware than the PlayStation. It just did not have the familiarity, especially overseas, that the PlayStation had, which was why it wasn't until the 360 that you really hear about big-name games coming to the system.
Speaking of Rare, you know what I played yesterday on the original NES?
What's up?
What's that?
Anticipation.
I remember when we did
boy.
that look at a long time ago.
I mean, I still give them props for how they did it with the whole drawing thing. That was pretty
Yeah.
cool of them. So, yeah, we gotta unlock a special kind. Get out of here.
Oh, hey, now that
Give
we
me
have
your
Parsec,
secrets.
maybe we can somehow get that to work.
Maybe.
I doubt. I was gonna say not saying I doubt we would. I was saying like I doubt it would be as demanding a game as the other stuff we've tried with Parsec. So I could see it working.
Why is
Only-
Anticipation
A
not
slide.
on the Rare replay?
It's not.
I don't know actually.
It's not.
Oof, okay.
I remember we brought that exact same thing up during our look at, and I did check, and it's not.
Dang.
I think that's primarily something that Nintendo has on their sleeves.
Yeah. All right, time for another bonus game. Except I think I feel like if I remember correctly, I think I cut out this next special round because one thing I'm gonna give this game some flack for, at least with World 1, is in World 1, every bonus zone is the exact same.
Ah.
This
Well-
is the exact same setup. So
Well, you
I get
skipped
to the very end.
You skipped it.
So I got to the very end, and I get a Viking helmet.
Aw.
Huh.
I can't see.
Durgan.
But yeah, that's my. I guess right now that's my first big complaint is that the bonus. There is no real variety with bonus rounds. Once you've done one, you've done them all. At least with World 1, because this is, as you already seen, a look at. Real talk, especially given how fast this was able to come together after I edited it. I probably could do a whole commentary of it, but I figured. Oh,
Oops.
Whoops.
whoops.
Every Frogger player's done that at least once.
Anyway,
moved
you
too
think
fast.
you can make a commentary, but
But I figured, we got plenty of other stuff going on. I might as well just
Yeah.
leave it to a Zapper to a look at.
and
Yeah.
honestly, like, you know, unless there's like anything that happens in the game that you really want to show off, I don't think it really like does anything too different from the other Frogger stuff we've shown off to really warrant its own commentary.
Oh, there
I mean,
goes
there's
your
a-
Viking helmet.
Yeah, I lost my mighty shield. There was a cool little boss battle you have with the grand like finale, the grand like bird thief. But frankly, always. Oh. But now, other than that, I definitely wanted to at least show this off to be like, yeah, just we weren't those early years. This came out in 2002. Those early 2000s weren't all bereft of bad Frogger games. We had this during the time of Great Quest.
And Temple of the Frog.
And Temple of the Frog. With I'll agree with you that Temple of the Frog is still good, but yeah, between this and the Game Boy Advance games, we were still pretty good. Ouch, pretty good.
Yeah. Although there is the unfortunate case, though, that over time, like, you could sort of tell Konami was trying a little too hard to ride the Frogger train for a little while, because after a time, you could sort of tell that, like, they didn't have much else to really excite people to really play more of these Frogger games, because a lot of them felt very samey.
That's a really
Also-
cute helmet.
Also,
Big ol'.
was there always a Zapper robot there?
He is, I guess he's just a silver Zapper bug, and he's just our NPC. Who occasionally in these early levels they'll tell you like, hey, they're basically a little tutorial thing.
Honestly, it just makes me think back to like in Time of the Tasmanian Tiger 2. Kind of a spoiler warning here. Like in the second game, like you do get to go to like this whole town inhabited by all the the regular citizenry of Ty's world, and one of them just so happens to be a freaking tiger robot.
Yeah, and nobody ever really talks about it.
You just see him walking by the sidewalk, and you just go, "Your weak things, Ty, you nicked."
And you're like, what?
Was that always there?
Like, what was I forgot. Was roboticization? I can never. say that
Robotization?
word. Was that an actual like plot? Was that a plot element?
Not that I
don't
recall.
remember.
And I mean,
I remember. I know the genetic super macho thing was its own thing, but not like.
Super Macho Man.
I guess I should toss this out there, especially since like that was part of the reason why we had her here with the Frogger stuff. Sealy, as someone who played Swampy's Revenge and stuff, and Frogger, he's back. What do you think of this?
I haven't played Swampy's Revenge,
Whoops.
Wait,
but I'm getting Frogger vibes from this anyway.
okay.
Close to me.
Aha.
That looked more like it was his fault anyway. Now, didn't it?
To tell you the truth, Logan, I would like to see you play He's Back all the way through.
Oh, God.
I don't want to
As
do
bo-
that. That's a tricky game.
Yeah, well, not tricky, just very, like, unforgiving.
You're better at platforming than I am. That's why I said that.
But oh my gosh. Okay, I mean I can give it a whirl, but I will say any day any day of the week I will pick Swampy's Revenge to
There
He's
is,
Back.
if it
Fair
helps,
enough.
if it helps alleviate the tedium, there is an infinite lives code.
Oh, thank God. Okay, then
Is
if
there?
that's the case, then yeah, I can work with that. Is it the Konami code?
I don't know,
I doubt
Okay.
it.
because I think this was before Konami like got the rights to Frogger, wasn't it?
No,
Yeah.
no. Frogger has always been a Konami IP. It's just that, well,
I don't remember Konami being part of He's Back.
well, that's because
Oh.
well, it's a weird little conundrum in the fact that, well, technically, Konami has always owned the rights to Frogger. It's just that a lot of these other like publishers and whatnot always secured the license to make their own games. It's kind of
Right.
like a similar case to how, like, you've seen all these Sega revivals as of recently, yet you barely see them acknowledged at all in, like, this title screen or like maybe the credits, but that's about it.
Gotcha.
Right. 'Cause, yeah, I know.
It's one of those things where it's like other people have had more presence regarding those revival projects than the people that actually own the IP.
Gotcha.
Well, yeah, no, because just to remind anybody who may have forgotten that, yeah, Frogger was the original arcade cabinet was made by Konami.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they just then gave the licensing out to other people, but
And then
Gotcha.
primarily because in some ways the IP was pretty much dormant, but then once Frogger He's Back and Frogger 2 Swampy's Revenge came around and showed that people still had an interest in these games, Konami thought, you know what, we should actually do shit with this IP again.
and
I mean, I'm not sure if I'm the only one who thinks this, but I thought the songs in Frogger He's Back were memorable. Like
Yeah.
the
Oh, no, they're good.
Like,
I
the
do like
spider one.
I do like the music,
yeah.
and I'm not gonna lie, it is kind of a shame that the game ended up being as, oh, there we go.
Okay.
It is kind of a shame that the game ended up being as merciless as it turned out to be, because I honestly do enjoy, like, the overall, like, levels and ambience of He's Back.
I
Like,
do
it had, like, a
too.
really nice
I-
tone to it.
I mean, honestly, the production values for that game are pretty much solid. In fact, in some ways, I just think it has a bit more of a, for lack of a better word, flair to it than Swampy's Revenge does. It's just that there's still, again, it's just the problem that the blood-curdling difficulty kind of just doesn't really do it for a lot of players.
Yeah.
In fact, honestly, kind of, and I can make this comparison because it was the same studio that made it, I would kind of like if they did have, like, a medieval-style remake of He's Back, just make it actually bearable to play through.
Steve, you read my mind.
that would be cool. I would
Like-
play it.
like-
I would give it a
like,
look-see.
How's that phrase go? Like sister, like brother?
Essentially, yeah.
I mean,
One of that-
I will
one of that
admit, like, I think it wouldn't really hurt. Like, considering the era we're in right now, I don't think a proper Frogger revival wouldn't hurt. Because I mean, I know there's still the occasional like Frogger game that gets released by Konami. Like recently on the Apple Arcade, they had this Frogger Toyland thing, which has some surprisingly sick detail in it, but it's just that it's a mobile game with Frogger.
Yeah, everyone's looking towards the mobile games, which I don't quite agree with. But yeah, I think it'd be possible. Also, from what you're seeing here, very much akin to Medieval. I think Zapper to play it and just beat it, very easy. Again, you could easily beat this game in an afternoon. But if you're trying to go for 100%, it's gonna expect a lot of going back and forth to make sure you get everything you're supposed to.
Doesn't look tedious at all. But funny coincidence, considering we just did a look at it not too long ago. This game was developed by Blitz Games. They also happened to make Pac-Man World 3.
Oh yeah. They made some. I mean, I remember Blitz having a pretty solid run with character platformers.
Yeah, like,
For the most part.
yeah, it's like, I know James talked about the Fairly Odd Parents games. Oh boy. I was about to say,
He sank too fast.
it's like, I know James talked about the Fairly Odd Parents games, and they're fine for what they are. I honestly got quite a bit of enjoyment out of Tez Wanted. Like, that's a surprisingly unique, like, licensed game if ever I saw one.
Oh my
So-
god, I thought those were bows, not goggles. I thought they were like bow ties or something.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah, no, I can see that. I can definitely see
They're
the shape
literally
of it,
wearing
but yeah.
bow ties on their eyes.
They're just super. Oh, okay. Crap. Gotta do this bit now. But yeah, no, it's just a pretty decent precision platformer. I still am wholeheartedly happy that this developer was able to still make the game they wanted to.
Oh boy.
Okay, let's try that again. I'm still happy they were able to make the game they wanted to make, even if the developer didn't want it originally. I missed.
Oh man.
I mean, there's also the unfortunate truth of the matter
How could
that
you miss? Sorry.
I feel like, I mean, as good as this game looks and plays, I doubt a lot of people actually bothered to try it back in the 2002s.
Yeah, let me see how well it did. But while I'm looking that up, I can say that again. I will say that I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's another one of those games where I'm pretty sure my parents must have found it because I do not recall. Wait. Oh, that's right. I don't want to land on that egg yet because if I do, then it's going
It'll
to
end the level,
end.
yeah.
Yeah. So all looking at, let's see,
All
reception.
the tigs.
So, damn, across the board, it looks like they, across the board, it received a lot of middling reviews. Like, we're talking like, according to Metacritic, damn it. Jeez, my God, what am I doing with my life? Okay, according to Metacritic, across the board, they had a bunch of like 58s, 55s out of 100.
Was there like, what was the common critique that all those reviews had with the game?
You know what? I'm gonna look that up now.
I mean, it should also be
'Cause-
said that reviews around that time, especially from professional critics, shouldn't really be taken all that seriously, considering this is around the same time where to be a really good game in the 2000s, you had to have longevity above all else.
Let's see.
Longevity and, I guess, just overall not being so simple.
Right.
Like,
they
unless
were
you were a God of War or a Zelda, then you were just nothing more than a kitty in the kid in a kiddie pool.
Apparently, a lot of people were remarking about how the game is still pretty dang short, and how sometimes the controls, which I can understand, sometimes the controls can be a little stiff in that, like, sometimes I really have to push the button to be careful, and there, my new shield is a mohawk.
Wow.
Oh, wow! I guess the fad didn't die out just yet.
It actually reminds me of that Sega bug.
Superfly?
Crap.
Oh yeah, a bug.
Yeah.
I can sort of see.
So-
I can sort of see it.
And here I could have unlocked a bonus level for having completed 100% all the previous 3 stages, but then I would have gone on to the next world. So yeah, again, we're already a fourth of the way through the game if I was to actually do this. But I'm going to keep it to a look at. I hope that you all enjoyed what you got to see. If you want to give it a shot, I frankly think emulation's your best bet since I don't even know where the developers are right now. I probably should ask them.
Blitzer. Hey Blitz, are you still around? No. Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
So, thank you all so much for joining for that little look at it, Zapper. That we just wanted to show a little alternate universe of what could have been at the time. James, do we have a good Frogger game to look at now?
I'd like to think that we do, but more on that next time.
Oh boy. Alrighty,
Alrighty.
see ya.
Yes.
Bye.